Moses was born in Egypt. He was an Israelite baby. The Pharaoh was a powerful king. He was scared of the Israelites. He thought they would become too strong. He made a very cruel law. He ordered all newborn Israelite boys to be thrown into the Nile River. This was a time of great fear. Mothers cried for their babies. It was a dark chapter for his people. But Moses' mother loved him dearly. She wanted to protect her precious son. She hid him secretly for 3 long months. When she could not hide him anymore, she had an idea. She wove a basket from papyrus reeds. She coated it with tar and pitch. This made it waterproof. She gently placed baby Moses inside. She put the basket in the tall grasses near the river's edge. Her heart was full of hope and prayer. Pharaoh's own daughter came down to the river. She came with her servants to bathe. She noticed the small basket hidden in the reeds. She was curious. She sent her servant girl to fetch it. When she opened it, she saw the baby. The baby was crying. Her heart was moved with pity. "This must be one of the Hebrew babies," she said. She decided she would save him. She decided to save him. Moses then grew up in the royal palace. He was raised as an Egyptian prince. He received a good education. He wore fine clothes and ate rich food. He learned the ways of the Egyptians. However, he knew his true family history. He knew who his people were. One day he saw an Egyptian, a cruel boss, badly beating an Israelite slave. Moses was filled with sudden anger. He killed the Egyptian and quickly hid his body in the sand. Moses soon learned that his act was known. Someone had seen him. Pharaoh wanted to kill him. Moses was very afraid. He had to run away from Egypt. He fled to the land of Midian. This land was far away from Egypt's power. It was a desert country, dry and vast. He left his life as a prince behind him. He was now a person running away. He was alone in a strange new land. In Midian, Moses sat down by a well. It was a common meeting place in the desert. Some young women came to draw water for their father's flock of sheep. Other shepherds came. They tried to drive the young women away, but Moses stood up for the women. He was brave. He helped them water all their sheep. Their father was a priest of Midian named Jethro. Jethro welcomed Moses into his home with kindness. Moses started a new, simple life there. Moses married Zipporah. She was one of Jethro's daughters. He became a shepherd for his father-in-law. For many years he tended the sheep. He led them through the quiet wilderness. He learned the ways of the desert very well. He knew the quiet places. He knew the dangerous paths. This was a very different life from the grand palace in Egypt. He had much time to think and be alone with his thoughts. One day Moses was leading his flock of sheep. He went to the far side of the wilderness. He came to Horeb, the mountain of God. This mountain was also called Sinai. It was a tall, rocky mountain. It stood silent and very grand in the empty desert. Suddenly he saw an amazing sight. It was truly astonishing. There was a bush. It was burning with bright fire, but the bush was not being consumed by the flames. Moses was very curious. He was puzzled by what he saw. He thought to himself, "I must go over and see this strange sight. Why is the bush not burning up?" This was not normal at all. Fire usually destroys what it touches very quickly. But this fire was different. It was bright and alive. Yet the leaves of the bush stayed green and fresh. The branches were not turning to black ash. As Moses approached the bush, a voice called to him. The voice was clear and strong. It came from within the burning flames. "Moses! Moses!" it said. Moses was startled. He was perhaps a little scared too. He stopped walking. He answered, "Here I am." He knew this was something very special. He felt a powerful presence around him. He realized he was standing on holy ground. This was not just any mountain. The voice from the bush spoke again. "Do not come any closer," God commanded. "Take off your sandals from your feet, for the place where you are standing is holy ground." Moses quickly did as he was told. He understood the importance of the command. He removed his sandals. He also hid his face from the bright light. He was afraid to look directly at God. He felt very small and human before this great power. Then God identified himself. "I am the God of your father," the voice declared, "the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob." These were the great ancestors of the Israelite people. Their stories were known to Moses. God then told Moses he had seen the misery of his people in Egypt. He heard their cries because of their slave drivers. God said, "I am concerned about their terrible suffering. I have paid close attention to them." God then revealed his great plan to Moses. "I have come down to rescue them from the hand of the Egyptians. I will bring them up out of that land." God promised to lead them to a good and spacious land. It would be a wonderful place, a land flowing with milk and honey. This was the land promised to their ancestors long ago. It was a promise of hope and freedom for all of them. The Israelites desperately needed this good news. Then came the most surprising part for Moses. God said, "So now go, I am sending you to Pharaoh, you will bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt." Moses was filled with doubt, he felt a great fear, he felt completely not good enough for such a huge task. "Who am I?" he asked God in a small voice, "that I should go to Pharaoh, and that I should bring the Israelites out of Egypt?" He was just a simple shepherd now. Moses made many excuses to God. He said he was not a good speaker. He told God, "I am slow of speech and tongue." He meant he did not speak smoothly or easily. He worried that the Israelites would not believe him. He worried Pharaoh would not listen to a former fugitive. But God was patient. God reassured Moses. God promised, "I will be with you." God also gave Moses special signs to perform. His shepherd's staff could turn into a snake. This was to show God's amazing power. This encounter at the burning bush transformed Moses completely. He accepted God's call. He became the chosen leader of the Israelites. He led them out of slavery in Egypt. This event, known as the Exodus, is central to Jewish faith. It is also very important for Christians and Muslims. The burning bush showed God's direct action in human history. It launched Moses on a path that shaped nations. It defined faith for millions of people through many generations.